In this lesson, we're going to be talking about the valuation hierarchy. So that is the hierarchy that allows us to choose the correct technique for valuing a property. Every valuation should be grounded in one of the RICS's recognised approaches: income, market, or cost. Then we choose the method, like the investment method, which is based on the asset type and available data. And finally, in the hierarchy, we pick the model. For example, the term and reversion or discounted cash flow to suit the complexity of the cash flow and the level of transparency required. So the income approach is most commonly used for investment property. It estimates the value based on the present value of future cash flows. It's used for properties such as hotels, offices, and retail parks. The cost approach is often used for owner-occupied or specialist assets. It estimates value based on how much it would cost to replace the asset. Some examples of these include steelworks, mill, or, my favourite example to use, the V&A Museum. The market approach is used for land and residential. It estimates value by comparing the asset with similar assets that have sold recently. It's used for things like residential terraced houses and leasehold flats, and for land. So under the income approach, we then need to select our method. And there are three options here. The first is the investment method. So this is used for income producing properties such as offices or industrial parks. We have a profits method, which is used for properties that generate revenue and therefore profit, such as hotels, student housing, or self-storage. And then finally, we have the residual method, which is used for developments such as build to rent or offices. Once we've selected our method, we then choose our model. There are three options to choose from in the models. You can choose an income, capitalization, or multiplier model, which can be used against the investment or the profits method. You could use a residual appraisal, which can be used against the residual method. Or you can use a discounted cash flow, which can be applied against all three methods. The items on the left are implicit methods, and the items on the right are explicit methods. We'll cover the difference between implicit and explicit later. Under the cost approach, we can use the depreciated replacement cost method. For the depreciated replacement cost method, how we calculate that is work out the cost of rebuilding the property as it currently stands, and then we depreciate that value to account for obsolescence of the property. Under the market approach, we would use the comparable method. So this is where we use comparables to work out what the estimated value is for these properties. And with the comparable method, the idea here is that you have a lot of transaction data showing similar comparable properties, and that's why you're able to use this method for things like a row of terraced houses or leasehold flats. So implicit models roll everything like rent, growth, and risk into a single number. They use headline inputs to capitalize a single income figure without showing cash flow detail. Explicit models forecast each income and cost line over time, allowing full visibility of assumptions and timing. So everything from rent to growth to cost to yield, all split out and shown explicitly over the cash flow model. Explicit models are clearer and more flexible, but they also require more data and care. So if we remember back to that hierarchy, within the explicit model, we have discounted cash flows, and in the implicit model, we have the income capitalization, multiplier, or residual appraisal. If you want to learn how to do these individual valuation techniques, sign up to the EiP Academy, where you can access our course, The Complete Guide to Property Valuations, as well as all our other courses, templates, and live support.